In the vibrant city of Austin, Texas, Emma and David had been married for 7 years. They had a story that many couples could relate to, filled with love, laughter, challenges, and lessons learned along the way. They met in college at the University of Texas when Emma was studying psychology and David was pursuing engineering. From the very first conversation at a campus coffee shop, they knew there was something unique about their bond. Their relationship grew over time, and when they finally tied the knot, friends and family celebrated the beautiful union. But as with any couple, life brought responsibilities, work stress, and the daily grind that sometimes tested their connection. One summer evening, sitting on their porch watching the Austin skyline light up, David asked Emma a simple but meaningful question. "What do you think is the best advice for couples to really stay strong?" Emma thought about it carefully before answering. She remembered stories from her parents, advice from friends, and lessons from their own journey. "I think," she said, "it's about making time for each other every single day. No matter how busy life gets, no matter what stress comes our way, if we don't invest time in us, then everything else feels harder." David nodded, realizing how true that was. Over the years, whenever they drifted apart, it wasn't because of lack of love. It was because they stopped spending intentional time together. That evening became the beginning of a new chapter in their marriage. They promised to apply the best advice they could give to any couple. Nurture your relationship daily, never let routine take away the spark, and always choose kindness. The next morning, they decided to implement something simple but powerful. Morning coffee together before work. Emma loved her caramel latte, while David enjoyed his strong black coffee. They would sit in their small backyard garden, even if just for 10 minutes, to talk, laugh, or simply be present. Over weeks, this ritual became their grounding space. No matter how stressful work was, they knew that they started the day as a team. On weekends, they took longer walks around Zilker Park, enjoying nature and talking about their dreams. Emma often said that the strongest couples are the ones who treat each other as friends first. She remembered her grandmother's words, "Romance will have its ups and downs, but friendship will always hold you steady." David agreed, often reminding Emma how much he valued her not just as his wife but as his best friend. Of course, they weren't perfect. They argued sometimes, about bills, chores, or when David forgot to take out the trash, but they learned to handle disagreements with respect. Emma once read a book about communication and shared a powerful strategy with David. Instead of saying, "You never do this," or "You always do that," they practiced saying, "I feel this way when." That small shift changed the tone of their conversations. Instead of blaming, they shared feelings. This helped them resolve conflicts without hurting each other's hearts. Another piece of advice they practiced was showing gratitude. Emma would often leave sticky notes on the fridge saying things like, "Thanks for making dinner," or "I'm proud of you." David returned the gesture with little surprises like flowers from the local market or handwritten notes in Emma's journal. These small acts of kindness kept their love alive. One fall weekend, they planned a short trip to San Antonio. Strolling along the river walk, Emma looked at the lights reflecting on the water and said, "You know, the best advice for couples is not just about what you do when things are going well. It's about how you show up when life gets tough." She recalled the time when David lost his job for 3 months, and instead of panicking, they supported each other and treated it as a chance to grow. David said, "Exactly. Real love shows in hard times. That's when you learn the value of patience, trust, and teamwork." Their conversation continued late into the night, and both realized that the advice they now lived by wasn't something they just read in a book. It was something they had built together. By the 7th year of their marriage, Emma and David felt their relationship was stronger than ever. They learned that couples don't have to be perfect, but they do need to be intentional. It's about choosing each other every day, listening when it's hard, laughing when it's easy, and holding on when storms arrive. When their friends asked them the secret to their happy marriage, they always shared 3 points. Prioritize time together, communicate with kindness, and never stop being each other's biggest supporters. Emma often told her younger sister in Dallas, who had just gotten engaged, that advice doesn't mean much until you put it into action. Love is a verb, she would say, and the best couples practice it daily. The couple's story became an inspiration for their community. They even volunteered at a local couples workshop, sharing their journey with newlyweds. Standing in front of the group, David said, "We're not perfect, but we've learned that it's not about grand gestures, it's about the everyday choices that build a strong foundation." Emma added, "Don't wait until it's too late to show appreciation. Celebrate the little things, forgive quickly, and always make space for laughter. The audience applauded, and several couples came up afterward to thank them for being honest and real. Their advice wasn't complicated. It was simple, but it worked. As the years passed, Emma and David held on to their rituals. Morning coffees, evening walks, gratitude notes, and regular trips together. They grew older, but their bond grew stronger. Looking back, they realized the best advice for couples is not a single sentence but a way of living. Respect, friendship, patience, kindness, and love in action. One snowy December evening, as they decorated their Christmas tree in Austin, Emma said, "Can you believe it's been all these years?" David smiled and hugged her tightly. "Yes," he replied, "and I wouldn't change a thing." Their journey showed that true love is built one day at a time. The advice they lived by wasn't just for them. It was for anyone willing to nurture love with care. The best advice for couples is simple. Love each other with intention, and let your actions speak louder than words. And so, Emma and David continued their beautiful journey, proving that when couples live with kindness and commitment, love can stand the test of time.